Welcome. You're with the Nasty Pastor, and I'm back with another reading. I'm back with another chapter reading from the book Stolen Legacy. Author George G.M. James. Have any one of you went out and got a copy? You know what I mean? Have you? Have any of you? Come on. Don't let me just read it, give you my understanding. How about get a copy, read along. We both can get an understanding, because yours may not be mine. I'm a 53-year-old man turning 54. I've seen more. I've done more. And you may be 20. You may be 30. You may be 40. You may have seen more, done more. But your actions show me. You understand what I'm saying? Your actions show me. And your actions just don't show me. Your actions will show others. You get what I'm saying? You get it? Will show others that you would rather listen instead of educating yourself. You got what I'm saying? And you need to educate yourself. Yeah, you do. You know, the whole purpose of being in school, listening to a teacher, the teacher putting examples on the board, and you're going home to do homework, is to educate yourself. You understand me? We had homework when I was, we had homework when I was in school. There are things that the last hour of school, the teacher will put on the board, whether it's a math problem, whether it's something about reading, whether it's something about social studies, whether it's something about science, that we go over. We we pre-educate ourselves with someone that is knowledgeable and have wisdom in that subject, so that when we go home, we have footnotes. We have we have steps to go back to get the answer. Come on, man. Look, if you haven't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, OFM Kemet Edition. If you haven't put a like on something over there, something wrong with you. If you haven't commented over there, commented on something over there, then why do you talk amongst your peers about me? If you don't comment on my account, don't comment at all. If you're not going to share it, what's wrong with you? It's the truth. So what you're telling me, you don't want to hear the truth. Or what you're telling me, you don't want to hear the truth from me, well, you're going to hear it. You ain't got a choice. Get off social media. And then in a minute, I'm going to tell you, get up off my streets. Because if I got to go out there and do it, I'm going to do it out there. Anyway, you with the Nasty Pastor, and I'm just as nasty as I can be in every aspect of life. You understand me? Let's go and get into this chapter reading. 1. The doctrine of opposites. Now, this is something we all need to really tune into, because it seems like we're more attracted to the opposite than the things that we are not. So let's roll. The unit of number is composed both of odd and even elements, of the finite and infinite, and the positive and negative in the connection. I apologize. Let me back this up. We did this in the last read. We're on immorality of the soul. According to Pythagoras, the doctrine of the immorality of the soul is implied in the doctrine of the transmigration of the soul. Socrates, the purpose of philosophy is the salvation of the soul, whereby it feeds upon the truth congenial to its divine nature and thus escapes from the wheel of rebirth and finally attains the consumption of unity with God. I'm gonna read that again. I'm going back over this again. Immorality of the soul. According to Pythagoras, the doctrine of the immorality of the soul is implied in the doctrine of the transmigration of the soul. Do we know what immorality is? Do we know what immorality is? The state or quality of being immoral, wickedness. He believed his father had been punished by God for his immorality. You understand me? You get it? Alright. Now let's get into the transmigration. Let's figure what that means. Under or present participle transmigration of the soul, passing to a different body after death. His spirit would transmigrate into another being. You understand me? I said I believe in reincarnation, right? Right? You understand me? This a shell. It's all this is. Take care of it though, because whom we pray to looks at that. You understand me? You get me? Looks at that also. This was given to you. Take care of it. Socrates, the purpose of philosophy is the salvation of the soul, whereby it feeds upon the truth congenial to its divine nature and thus escapes from the wheel of rebirth. Now you know what I process from that before we go on? You do good on this rock. You put your good deeds in after you done been the most devilish, wickedest, immoral person you could be. You're given a chance to go back and correct yourself because of the works you have done. And see, those that want to still be here after you have passed on to the afterlife, they're not going to know it's you, because you're not going to look the same, smell the same, talk the same, nor when I say walk, I mean your physical walk. You got what I'm saying? I'm not talking about you sitting here saying, hey, I'm going to start going to the church. Hey, I'm going to put this food down, and you put it down. See, we look at that as walking also. We look at that as your words moving in action. You understand what I'm saying? But you're not going to come back the same. You might come back as a roach. You might come back as an ant. You might come back as a cat, a dog, a cow, a pig. Who knows how our moon is going to bring you back into this world. So I say this to you again, you know what I mean? I believe in reincarnation. I believe they give you another, whom we pray to gives you another chance to get it right. You got it? Let me say this to you right quick, because see, this is going to be a long one. And our moon is the same as the pastor in your church. The pastor in your church want to fill them seats up to capacity. You understand me? You get me? You're needed in that church to pass on the word of whom that pastor prayed to, whom you pray to. You feel me? So yes, numbers matter. You got what I'm saying? Numbers matter. And when I say the final judgment, the final call, the final war in heaven, going to stop is when the devil, when Satan realizes that, okay, it's been centuries. It's been centuries. We're in, look, it's a funny what I'm getting ready to say, and maybe you'll understand. It's been centuries, it's been decades, and we are in A.N. That's after NARS. You got what I'm saying? And after NARS, if there's not a lot of souls, you understand me, with that the devil has influence, the war over. Because it's not going to be built again. It's not going to build itself up again. You understand me? Let's go and get back into this. And finally attain the consumption of unity with God. B, Plato's doctrines, transmigration, and recollection. Transmigration, the souls of men go to the place of reward or punishment, and after 1,000 years, they are permitted to choose a new lot of life. Now peep this out. You see nothing here about women, right? Because it would say man. It would say the souls of man go to the place of reward or punishment, right? Right? Man, men go. Don't say man go. Man is a word that can be associated with both genders. Got it? When I did my Revelations reading, what did I say in chapter 22? It seems like Revelation is talking to who? Us men. Don't get it right. Please, get it right. He who has thrice chosen a higher life gains after 3,000 years the home of the gods in the kingdom of Thoth. Others wander about for thousands of years in various bodies, and many are destined to pursue their earthly life in lower animal forms. It is necessary to point out that in this doctrine of transmigration, Plato described the judgment scene in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, recollection. Although the sense-perceived world cannot lead us to a knowledge of ideas, yet it reminds us of the ideas which we saw in a previous existence. Now we're going to get in summum bonum. This will be the end of chapter, well, we on chapter 5, but we in 4. Let me make sure, chapter 5, part 4. Before we in chapter 5, part 4. And this will be number 5, which is summum bonum. According to Pythagoras, the supreme good in man is to become godlike. This transformation is to be accomplished by virtue, which is a union of opposites in man's faculties. The subordination of man's lower nature to his higher nature. But the precise purpose of the Egyptian mysteries was to make a man godlike by the purificatory agencies of education and virtue. Consequently, it is clear that Pythagoras obtained this doctrine directly from the Egyptian mysteries. Hence, it is also follows that philosophers who have taught this doctrine must have obtained it either directly from the Egyptian mysteries or indirectly through the teachings of Pythagoras. According to Sallust, deification or becoming godlike was the purpose of the Egyptian mysteries, and according to C.H. Vail in his Ancient Mysteries, the Egyptian summum bonum consisted of 5 stages during which the neophyte developed from a good man into a triumphant master, attaining the highest spiritual consciousness by means of casting off the 10 bodily fetters and becoming an adept like Horus or Buddha or Christ. Come on. See, I love them 3. I don't mess with them Asians, right? Because I say they done been through a lot and they know a lot, right? You get me? I never had to research Buddha because I had perfect examples, good examples in front of me when it came to these agents. You understand me? I didn't have to go into figure out whom they prayed to, how they prayed to them, how they prayed to whom they prayed to, pray to the name, or question, is this righteous? I never had to do that. Never. The philosophers besides Pythagoras who are given credit with having taught the doctrine of the supreme good are Socrates, who defined it as an attainment in which man becomes godlike through self-denial and the cultivation of the mind. Xenophon, Memorabilia 154. Plato, who defined it as happiness, which is the attainment of the idea of the good, which is God. The Atrius Aristotle, who defined it as happiness, which is based upon reason and which includes all the gifts of fortune. It should be noted, however, that Aristotle's definition of the supreme good marks the first departure from the concept of the summum bonum of the Egyptian mysteries. And the same thing is true of the hedonists, who defined it as pleasure. The conception of a supreme good is Egyptian, from which source Pythagoras and other philosophers obtained the doctrine. We're going to go and cut that off right there. We're going to end this part of this chapter reading, and I hope you learned something. And we've been went over the 5 stages. Hold up, the 10 fetters of the body. We've been went over the 5 stages. Go back to my readings. You know, if necessary that you haven't kept up, go back to the introduction and let it go on all the way through. We went over it all. You got what I'm saying? And I say this to you, you know, life can be short, life can be beautiful, or life can be long, fightful, fruitful. You get what I'm saying? When I said fightful, that means every day you got to get up and fight. When I said fruitful, that means every blessing you have asked for, you have received. You have received some things that you didn't even ask for because there are other people praying for you, blessing you. Look, you've been with the nasty pastor. Got me? If you haven't yet, go over to my Facebook page, OFM Stolen Legacy. Follow, like, share, comment. If you haven't yet, went on my YouTube account, OFM Kemet Edition, where you can find the Stolen Legacy playlist. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and definitely, put your notifications on. You get this once a week. I ain't gonna drain you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna drain you. Get your education. Look, I love you, and I'm out.